Well, welcome back everyone. Today I want to do some more stuff. I want to get my tree farm built. I want to be a good Samaritan. I woke up and I have just this pep in my step, and what happened here? A gift from the city of New Boros. Is that the one in the Nether? We heard you are in need of glowstone, so here's a free stack. Plus a few extra blocks you may need. What? Oh my god, that's awesome. Oh man, thank you guys. I had no idea that was there. Cool. Okay, well I guess first thing we can do then is we can get some better lighting in here. So this is in the center already. Put one right there. Oh, that's amazing. Okay. I was thinking putting them like in these little areas might help to like light it up and make it a little nicer. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't want to use them all. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess that's okay. Would it look good in the ceiling though? Because that was my thinking. That looks alright. Actually, I wonder, maybe we could put it behind those trapdoors? Let's at least try that and see if it looks good. So we'll do that there. I do like that, but it is still a little dark on top. I guess, actually, we could probably do this. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Man, that's awesome. You guys are so nice. Okay, and then I want to do the same thing on this side. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay. And then I want to do all of these. That looks really nice. You know, it's funny, in beta I've gotten so used to using left click to open things, I hardly right click to open trapdoors or doors. And so anytime I go back to like a more recent version where you can't do that, I keep just like smacking stuff instead of actually opening them. I really like that. That looks really cool. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything we can do with glowstone over here. We could put some in here as well. Really just everywhere. Just put it everywhere. Because why not? Yeah. I like that. That's way nice. Cool. Yeah, that was not what I was expecting to do first thing here. Okay, thank you guys, those of you in the Nether. I don't know, is it just small cat or is there more people? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, thank you guys. That was really kind. I should probably put that stuff away. So we do need to make it big enough to somehow fit a tree, which I don't know if I want to dig it further down and then have enough room for a tree, or if I want to like dig this ceiling up. Now I have unfortunately just about finished my rock star. It's really unfortunate, but that's okay. There's the last of it. So then I went, wait, 1, 2, 6, 7. Yes! Oh, I'm so glad it was a square room. Hopefully my mic setup today sounds better than the last time, because that was such a pain. I had to like throw on so many effects and edit so much of that sound, because this mic is really sensitive to vibrations. I mean, obviously it's a microphone, that's kind of the point. But especially like from the base of it, it's not on a stand. I do have another microphone. It's my old blue snowball, but that's upstairs. And that one is on a boom, like on an arm. So, you know, that one doesn't really get that problem as much. But this one, if I set it directly on the desk, or, you know, if my arm is near the cable or something, then it'll pick up a lot of those weird like little sounds of my arms moving around or me tapping on the desk and stuff. and it just creates a lot of annoying background noise. But I have now, there was a tiny little box on my desk, smaller than the base of the mic, so it's like teetering on it right now. I think when I set it like on top of a box or something, it helps to reduce the noise that makes it up the stand and into the mic from there. So while I'm digging this out and thinking and planning and stuff, I want to tell you guys, we're branching out in the Jibbo channel. I've had some talks with investors. We need to branch out, apparently. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, something a little bit different. I wanted to tell you guys a joke. This is something I don't usually do here. But there's a joke that my grandpa used to tell that it's seriously like my favorite joke ever. I love this joke so much. And so, I want to take a minute while I'm doing all this to tell you guys about it. There's this guy. His name, we'll call him John. He, not exactly raised from an amazing background. He struggles a lot. He's had a tumultuous life, you could say. He's been studying for years and years to become a biologist. He really wants to go into biology, study in the field of biology. So he's completed his years at college, however many years that would be. I don't know if that'd be beyond 4 years or whatever. And his family, they're struggling. He had to spend so much time going to school. He's tried to get together with other researchers and, however they make money. He tries to do some studies with people about amphibians. It doesn't really turn out too well. They can't find anything interesting. And then he realizes that there is a gap in the market. It's that, anytime that they've been studying amphibians, which mainly frogs, they've been studying a lot of frogs. Anytime they study frogs, they've just been, studying how tadpoles become frogs, how, not really much about the adult frogs themselves. And so he takes it upon himself. He's like, all right, nobody else is going to look into this, then I will. And he thinks about it. He's like, well, what's something interesting about adult frogs that I can look into? And he thinks about it a little bit, and he realizes, frogs are great jumpers. They really, they just got great legs on them. They can jump like nobody's business. So he decides that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to research the jumping behavior of frogs. So, he does his research, and he comes upon an island. They call it Frog Island. No association. It was actually found by a guy, Froggy Van Dubersnorf, years prior. And, they named it after him, and they brought the frogs in to the island because of his name. That's besides the point. That's getting into history, and this is a joke. They go, he finds a ferryman that goes out to Frog Island. And he asks the ferryman, he's like, can you take me out to Frog Island? And the ferryman's like, well, you gotta cough up the coin. And John, I think that's what we named him, I forgot. He's not doing well financially. He has to tell the ferryman, I can't cough up the coin right now. Like, I don't have the money on me right now. And the ferryman's skeptical. And John says, well, I'm a practicing biologist. This is going to be my breakthrough study. Ferryman looks at him with a look of uncertainty. But he decides that he sees a glimmer in John's eyes, something he can't quite put his finger on. So he says, okay, I'll take you out there, and, I'll trust you to pay me back later. John's very appreciative. So they go out to this Frog Island. John is walking, around ponds, wherever else the frogs might be. And, of course, anytime he walks up to the ponds, the frogs go quiet. They don't like when people are around. If you've ever heard frogs or been around frogs, you'll know that they kind of get quiet when people come around. Anyway, he's looking, he can't find what he's looking for. He keeps searching, he just can't find it. He goes up to this one pond. Nothing special about the pond itself, really. But he goes up and, the rest of the frogs quiet down like normal. But there's this one frog, this one very I suppose, ambitious frog who must have also seen something in John that day. Jumps up to John, croaks, he jumps up to John, and he stands there. And John realizes, well, this frog must be offering himself. He must, this must be something from God. This must be a gift from God. And so he takes his box and he puts the frog in the box and he sets off back toward the mainland, back toward where he studies and all that. Comes back in, takes the frog to his research lab. And his plan is to study, how do frogs jump, how, what's happening in their body. That's really what he wants to know. He's kind of a freak like that. He takes the frog in, and he's got his notebook and his pencil. He's ready for this to just be a nothing discovery like all the ones he's made before. He's prepared himself for failure. He says, "Jump, frog," and the frog jumps. He's on this table with like a measuring line on it so he can tell how far the frog jumps. He writes down how far the frog jumps. And then John takes the frog and he chops off one of the frog's legs. And, he chops off one of the front legs, the front right leg of the frog. And he sets the frog back down at 0. And he says again, "Jump, frog." And so the frog jumps, more or less the same. It's the front leg. Doesn't really have a lot to do with it. So John takes the frog again, and he chops off the front left leg. He's expecting to see some kind of change by now. He sets the frog back down at 0. He says, "Jump, frog." Frog jumps again. He records how far it goes. Maybe a little bit less far this time. He takes the frog again, chops off the back right leg, and he says, "Jump, frog," once more. Places the frog at 0, says, "Jump, frog." The frog jumps, and John records how far the frog jumps this time. Much, much less far than it had the times before. I mean, it's only got one leg now. So John takes the frog, and he thinks about it for a moment, and he chops off the last leg of the frog. He sets the frog down at 0, and, he's getting anxious now. He's worried that this study might not yield anything worth of note. He's chopped off the final leg of the frog. It's basically just a little slug now. And he places the frog back at 0, and he says, with a little bit of an anxious timbre, he says, "Jump, frog." And the frog doesn't do anything. So John sighs, maybe exhales a little bit. He says, "Jump, frog," louder this time. He says it louder. The frog still sits there doing nothing. And in one last final plea, John says, "Jump, frog," even louder than before. And the frog doesn't jump. And so John takes out his notebook, and he writes down, "Frog with no legs can't hear." I love that joke so much. That's the whole joke, by the way. I love that joke so much. It's so fun. One of my favorites. I never really did get to know my grandpa very much. He had kind of, he passed away when I was 4. So I didn't really get to know him all that much. But every story I've ever heard of him, I love it. I mean, he's such a funny guy. Anyway, we've gotten pretty far in the tree farm while I was telling that dumb joke. And, yeah, I mean, I don't remember how tall trees are. I remember I had to do the same kind of research for my 404 farm. Yeah, I don't really quite remember how much space they need to grow. I guess I can get some bone meal and find out. I mean, I could look it up, but... yeah. Oh, well, it works. There you go. Yay, I have a tree farm. Sweet. Okay. Well, I guess that's that. I'm gonna use this wood to do all this stuff. That's a good use for it. Oh, maybe the apple rates aren't as bad as I thought, because that's the first apple. It seems like they're kind of hit or miss. Like, sometimes it'll be crazy, and then sometimes it's nothing, like barely any apples at all. So maybe I won't adjust the rates. I have no idea. Why does this keep coming back? Oh, never mind. That was perfect. Sweet. I love when that happens. I actually really like the way this room ended up looking. That's really cool how it's like, I don't know, this stairway that looks so cool. I think keep that stone, but I think I want to do this as like a log and put one there and just let it grow. Should I put torches here, or is it, do you think it's light enough? Sure. I mean, that has to be light enough for that tree to grow. Okay. Community service time. I've got to do my time. Guess I don't really need to carry around flint, do I? Let me see. I guess I can look around at the Appleton board, see if there's anything on there that I could maybe do. Assuming that's okay that I do those. I don't know. I'll have to look and see. And it's raining. And it's night too. It's raining at night. Oh, how perfect. Cool. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god. Why am I getting so many gifts? This is awesome though. Shoot. Heard you like slabs. Thank you. I don't even know. You know, I wish there's a way. I wish there was a way you could like break and carry a chest. So you could like, I know there's a mod I think that does it where you can like shift right click and you'll like carry it. Cause then that'd be nice. I could just carry it, go down there and place it. But let's let me figure out a way to migrate these down. Hold on. Okay, I think that was it, right? Did I not pick up the chest, part of the chest? Okay. I think I do want to open back up invites to the Discord soon. I've kind of, oh my god. Found the chest. Dude, this is my house. You cannot come in. I think I want to open back up invites to the Discord soon. I had them closed initially for a little bit. That's why they're inactive right now if you try to join. Just because, you know, there was a lot of people that joined at once. It really was. And it's awesome. I love having this many people on the server. It's amazing. I just wanted to take a minute to like cool off. Like I said in whatever it was, the previous video where I talked about this, like it's a one-man show, you know. I'm doing everything. I'm running the channel, I'm running the server, I'm running the Discord server, moderating both the server and the Discord server while also, you know, living my own life. So, you know, I wanted to take a minute to like cool down and let the server breathe for a second. But it seems like a lot of people really are interested in joining. And so, you know, I don't want to leave it down. I really, you know, my goal is to make this a happy place for people. Just a place that people can come hang out and not worry about anything. And, you know, I think it's good to keep it open. I'll open it back up again some point soon. I'm not sure exactly when. Maybe I'll open up, you know, today and put the new link in the description of this video. I don't know. We'll see. If it's down there, then that's what happened. You'll know. You know, at some point, I really need to invest in getting a new chair. You know, this chair is kind of a, I don't know if hand-me-down is the right word. It was my mom's computer chair, and she, you know, she got a new one, so she gave it to me. It's nice and everything. It's very comfy. It's got a wide seat, which I like, because I sit very oddly. I sit cross-legged at my desk, with my feet up on the base of the seat. I don't know. I don't like having my feet on the ground or like off the chair. I don't like it. So it's nice for that reason because it's so wide. It has some very odd issues of, you know, the locking thing for the back of it that's supposed to prevent it from tilting, you know, when I don't want it to. Number one, it'll sometimes just pop out, which is terrifying because then I'll just like start falling backwards without realizing. But even with it locked, it still like has a lot of wiggle room backwards. So I end up sitting a lot like a shrimp because, you know, with my feet up the way they are, all of my weight is on the back of the chair. So the chair just ends up tilting backwards. And then I have to lean forward to compensate. And then, you know, that means that yeah, I have to lean forward to compensate, which means that I sit like a shrimp and not comfortable. I mean, it's comfortable while I'm sitting there, but it's not comfortable after the fact when I try to go do other things. You know, one thing I wish I could do. I need to explain some backstory first. I do have this Windows 7 computer, because of course I do. I mean, would you expect anything less from me? But I have this Windows 7 computer upstairs that I sometimes play Minecraft on, not on the server. One thing that I love about the way that computer is set up is I don't have headphones for that computer. So I listen to it from a set of like desk speakers. And oh my god, like I love not wearing headphones. I wish there was a way that I could like not wear headphones and, you know, have speakers down here for one. I mean, that's one thing. I wish I could do that. Another problem is like I don't know how I could do that without my mic then also picking it up, because I don't want to, you know, the whole point of separating my voice and the game audio is that way my voice and the game audio are separate. You know, crazy. So I don't know if anyone has what. Oh my heck. Does nothing break? Okay, there we go. Jeez. So if anyone knows, you know, if anyone uses desk speakers a lot and you know of a way that I could use my desk speakers and then also not have to worry about the audio getting into my voice track, I would love any advice on that. That would be amazing. Park, market stations, train station, game area. What? You guys are planning some crazy stuff here. Harvard, Church of Jib. Okay. Once done with Temple of Jib. Okay. God, that looks so cool. Oh, I know about this. Hold on. There is one thing you guys haven't seen. I saw it in the screenshots. It's amazing. We now have a beautiful statue of a lactating cow. And something What the hell? Holy, I have not been here in too long. Holy. One amazing thing about this cow is if we come up, we can get our very own fresh milk, maybe? Well, at a point there. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. So we can get gifted milk, which is just, I mean, it's beautiful, isn't it, really? And we have this. Someone built this, like, pretty little town hall. And, yeah, spawn town hall. I don't really know what's in here. Meeting room. Community resources. Oh. Man, that's so kind. Here, I'll donate. Wait, is that the right chest? This one is, okay. There we go. This is like exploring an adventure map every time I hop on, because it's just it's different every time. And like it's just such a trip to go around and explore. Oh. This is a very smart design for this. I like this. Okay. That one's already like pretty dang close to the utility of the redstone one, which is kind of depressing now that I think about it. But my redstone one will work for all of the four-way ones. Also, whose little town is this? I did not notice this. Townsville, huh? Is this meant to look like a little village? Like from 1.0? I think it is. I think this is meant to have like the village house style. Oh my heck, it totally is. Oh, that's so cool. Testificate. Yes, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. What a neat little build. And you got a blacksmith too. How cool. If there's not loot in this chest, I will be disappointed. There's loot in the chest. That's amazing. How to Golem. Oh, this is such a quaint little town. That's awesome. I love that. That's amazing. Very, very cool. Disclaimer: residents are not allowed to add lead to the town's only water supply. Darn, I don't have any. Okay, see, the problem is I'm bad at like building from memory, so like I have to find something that I can find a good like reference for. But a park, because Appleton, Appleton gives me the vibes of like a rural city, and maybe that's just my own bias because I live in a rural city, but it gives me the vibes of like a city that focuses on like historic preservation. Again, biased because that's what my city is. Town, rural city. I don't know. What the heck? Everyone's leaving. No, am I the only one now? It's just me. No. Oh, Church of Daniel location. Okay, so that's sacred. I also like how Daniel was just something that New Gen made up and is now kind of just an integral part of Jibbo lore. I really hope nobody else was planning to make it, because if so, then I'm going to feel really sad. Then I'm... Hello. Oopsies. Well, that's gonna be quite interesting, isn't it? So someone already did this, just higher up. Shoot, maybe I don't want to lower it down then. Oh, I never put my stuff in the market chest. Hold on, let me go do that. Well, time to harvest. Maybe that'll be enough. I've been getting a lot of videos in my YouTube recommended recently about comedians for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it's just, I don't know. I go through like YouTube phases where like I'll watch one specific kind of content and only that specific kind of content for like months at a time, and then I'll just randomly switch back over to watching some other thing for like months at a time. I also just have a problem with YouTube. I have a bad addiction to YouTube. It's bad. Like, I think I've said it here before, but I don't have, like a phone addiction. I don't have like a crippling phone addiction, but I do have a terrible addiction to YouTube. It's so bad. I need to get better about it. I need to, because, you never feel good about it. It always, like, you waste your time. See, okay. It's fine to watch YouTube when you're trying to relax. That's fine. It's like television. It's great to watch when you're relaxing. But it's a problem when you're trying to watch it while also trying to do other things and be productive. Like, I wake up and then I start watching YouTube while I eat. And, I want to structure my days more. That's something I've been trying to do. So that way I feel like I can be more effective with time and, get more stuff done in the morning and then relax more in the afternoon. I have this problem where I don't shut off YouTube. And I never get anything done because I don't ever shut it off. And then, before I know it, it's time that I got to go outside with the dogs. And then I do that. I come back in and watch more YouTube. And then before I know it, now my parents are home and now I can't really get anything done because now it's night. I just got a problem. And I was talking with another member about this too. One of the members of the server, I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce their name, so I'm not going to try to say it. But I have this really bad problem of overworking myself as well. Possibly maybe to like compensate for wasting so much time watching videos. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I have this problem where I'll overwork myself. I'll just do nothing but slave away and work at something non-stop for like days and days on end. Like I'll forget food. I'll skip out on food. I won't, I won't take care of myself. I won't do anything else. I literally won't do anything else other than slave away and work on this one thing for like every day, 24/7. And then obviously I get tired and burnt out. Then I'm like, I never want to do this again. I was talking to this member about it, and I was telling them, like, I need to make a point, as counterintuitive as it is, I need to make a point to relax. Like, I need to make a point to have a time in my day where I work on things, and then have a different part of the day where I don't, where I'm not allowed to work on things. I'm not allowed to do that stuff. I sit and I just relax, I decompress, you know. I need to have those, because otherwise I will get burnt out. I will, you know, I won't enjoy things. And it's hard. It's really hard, because I spend the whole time while I'm, you know, trying to relax, I spend that whole time thinking about, well, I could be doing this productive thing, or I could be doing that productive thing, or, you know, that's kind of the mental gymnastics that I do. And it sucks, you know, I want to just be able to relax. So I've really been trying, I've been making an effort recently to really, really try and force myself to take breaks and relax and take time. Because I found, you know, when I do that, as much as I am reluctant to, when I do that, I am way more productive. Like, counterintuitively, I am way more productive when I take the time to intentionally relax, to intentionally slow down. Like, I do way better, I get more done, I'm happier with the things I get done. It's such a weird, like, I don't know if paradox is the right word, but it feels paradoxical in a way. You know, it's just hard. It really is, especially recently. I've always kind of had the problem, but it's especially a recent thing where, you know, now I have 2 blossoming channels. Both of them are doing really well. They're both, you know, finding their place and finding their feet and, you know, becoming something really great and becoming something I'm really proud of. But because of that, I'm like, well, you know, that means I gotta work harder, because I don't want to lose them. And, that's, I mean, in a way, that's kind of true, but also not. Oh, that was perfect. But yeah, it's also not true, because, you know, if I do that, then I'm just gonna burn myself out. I'll make shit videos that nobody likes, not even myself. Then because of that, I'll be like, oh, I'm failing, I gotta try even harder. And, you know, it's this vicious cycle where I think I just gotta keep doing things. I think I gotta keep overdoing it more and more, and then I just kind of drive it into the ground. You know, I feel like I've happened upon such an amazing thing, you know, YouTube, really being able to do this and say that, yes, I get to do YouTube. You know, that in and of itself, regardless of the popularity of what I'm doing, that is a gift. You know, that is something I appreciate. Like, it's an enormous honor. I don't know any other word for it. It's incredible. It's something I don't take for granted. You know, I really appreciate the space that I'm in. I really appreciate what I found for myself. I really appreciate where I am. I mean, it's amazing that this is my reality right now. It's crazy to think that just a few months ago, I was amazed when a video of mine got over 100 views, and then, then it was over 200, then it was over 1,000. Like, that was mind-blowing to me at one point. And it's kind of funny to think back to that now, because, you know, now that seems so normal. But, you know, I feel so fortunate to be where I am that I get so nervous and so worried that I'm just going to lose it. You know, if I misstep slightly, if I, you know, do one thing, quote unquote, wrong, even though there is no wrong way to do it, I get so paranoid about that. I freak myself out about it, like to the point that, like, can't sleep at night kind of thing. Like, I'll keep myself up all night thinking about how, you know, how just nerves, how terrifying it is that, you know, one miscalculation could end it all. And, you know, I come to and I realize that, you know, that's not really true. One mistake doesn't mean my whole thing's in the gutter. It's hard to not be worried about that, you know. It's really, really hard to not be worried about that. And, you know, try as I might, I have such a hard time. And I just gotta remind myself that, like, when I started this, when people first found out about both of these channels, they both started just from me making something that I liked, making something that I wanted to make. Not from some calculated effort, not from some, you know, none of them were calculated. Sometimes I kind of lose side of that, and I think that I have to make these complex decisions as to what's a good choice for a next video, or how do I need to structure my next video, like it's a science almost. And I need to remember that, like, it's not a science. You know, I didn't get here by following some method. I did it by making something I loved, and that's why people are drawn to it, you know, because everything else on YouTube is this calculated thing with, you know, so many people behind it and so many people thinking, oh, well, what do we got to do that's going to rake in the most amount of people? And that stuff does, you know, people are kind of sick of it. It's an oversaturated thing. And so when something comes along like the original videos on these two channels, that is just completely, you know, it's just meant to be fun. It's just made because the person making it just wanted to make it. And I need to not lose sight that that is like that is my specialty here, is that I'm just a guy. You know, I'm just some guy just hanging out on YouTube talking about the things I find interesting. That's what people love about it. And I need to stop worrying so much. That really is it. And I've talked about this before, I'm sure. But I have got to stop worrying. And I am excited. I really am excited to see where both of these channels will be by the end of the year. You know, I'm sorry that I always talk about this. Sorry that I always bring up YouTube and my channels and everything. It's just, it's on my mind a lot. I think about it a lot, obviously, you know. It really is incredible that I am in this position to begin with. You know, like I said, that I can post a video and expect thousands of people to watch it. Like, that's incredible. Like, what an amazing thing. And I'm just so endlessly grateful. Anyway, enough sapping. Let's get back to building the flipping park. Yay, my trees are growing. I do want some bigger ones, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna bring this here, and I'm just gonna have like a big, like, gravel intermediate area thing. I don't know. And then I want to do this one as the stone, like I did for the spawn building. Nope. That's not where I wanted that. Oh, I could put glowstone in here too. So hold on, let me go get my, oh. Okay, and now I'm gonna get some glowstone and my benches that I made, and we'll build that up. Okay, I should do these as like the tall trees is what I should do. Oh, I didn't grab glowstone either, whoops. Oops. Yeah. Gotta have like a big tree in the middle of the park. I mean, come on. Oh, what the heck? That's like the size of a normal tree. That ain't fair. Okay. Just put some of these kind of everywhere. Okay, let me get more resources and we'll make the shack. The shit shack, if you will. I know how I know what I can put in there. Hold on, I have a great idea. Okay. I know exactly the building block to use. Okay. Out we go. This came together a lot quicker than I thought it would, actually. I thought this would take a lot longer. I thought it'd take, like, most of the day. I mean, it's been a couple hours, I guess, but it really hasn't taken that long. And then I'll do this little some soul sand down there. And then a little trapdoor. Perfect. Oh, I should actually just do these as the glowstone. Hold on. Shit check. There we go. Shit check. I am very pleased with this so far, though. I'm gonna say that that's where I'm gonna leave it for today, folks. I appreciate you joining the journey of the park and the shit shack with me, and whatever else I built that I don't remember, the tree farm. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's gonna change by the next time I join, because I'm sure stuff will. And thanks for spending your time here, and I'll see you again next time. Okay. Bye-bye.